Yeah.
And brother Noel still MIA. Ooh, you have a producer. You have a
No,
producer.
no, yeah. But I think Brother Noel get back his phone.
No, B-flat.
Yeah, I saw him. I saw him
Post
respond
something.
to condolences in the chat. Yeah, so I was
Thanks,
assuming
sir.
that he would have been here.
Yeah. Then I am. So yeah, I'd also ask her if you think we could discuss that little project that they want to put up with the Bitcoin mining farm.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, I
EJ,
don't. Yeah.
the volume went up significantly there. Yeah. A little tip again.
You all hear me clearly?
Yes, I'm hearing you, Cliff, right. Yeah, that volume good. Yeah, of course, or anything.
One ecosystem. One ecosystem, you know them. We not frightened for nobody, but we respect everybody, and we better than everybody. So we will run with anybody. No fear, no better than we. No kind, no better than we. Step on me one and say, one ecosystem to the world you say. One ecosystem will do something, do something, do something, do something, uno do something, do something. I'm not talking. One ecosystem will do something, do something, do something, do something, uno do something, do something. I'm not bag of leg chasing. Hey.
Good afternoon, good evening, and welcome to our viewers here in Trinidad and Tobago on Guyale channel and all across the internet universe, or as the new terminology goes, the metaverse. I am Dwayne Kiddies. I am your host for this evening's show. And of course, with me is my able co-host, Mr. Cliff Salmal Singh. Cliff.
Yes. Good evening to everybody out there. Don't know if you all picking me up. I don't see myself on screen. So, however, just you and I alone this evening. All right. You know I am the man in the house, and I lay down the rules. I say it's me and me alone. And then my wife say, "You have my permission." Is that right? Yeah. But she's not doing so well this evening. Right? She came home with it seems as though with the bug, and she just flat out in bed. So one good thing about that, the house is a little quieter, right? But all will be well. The body needs a rest, right? And I often say that sickness is a time to lay in that your body lacking something, is a time to rest up, recuperate, recharge, regenerate, and re-go. So let's go.
Well said, and of course, Also missing that presence of that person who's always there. It makes an impact. And, this evening, our program is also specially dedicated to one of our members who recently passed, but we'll get to that. So we want to read our disclaimer though, before we begin the program. So we are not financial advisors, and this is not financial advice, nor are we financial advisors. The topics discussed on the show are purely for educational considerations and are not meant to be misconstrued as financial advice nor investment advice. So that being out of the way, Cliff, we want to say to our membership, both globally and locally, that today's program is especially dedicated to one of our members who passed away just last week, Friday, Charmaine Nicholas, by name. And of course, we want to recognize her and acknowledge her for her dedication, not only to our platform, not only to our community, but to her family, her loved ones, and everyone that she came into contact with. And by extension, all of our members, because during the pandemic, we lost at least 6 or more members right here locally.
Yeah, I was about to touch on that and saying that whilst we're doing a slight tribute to Charmaine here, we also had other persons who passed on. You understand? So it's nice that we are acknowledging them also. But what made Charmaine so special? I still want to use the word makes, yes, why? Because it's like I still see her smile, I mean?
Yeah,
she was one who believed, and not only believed, you have so many persons who just talk the talk. But she walked the talk and walked the walk. She was there, part and parcel. A number of persons, though, may not have not gotten the idea still that our cryptocurrency is about trade. And we had set up different showcases, right? We set up different market events whereby we brought vendors and merchants together to be able to trade the coin that we have for goods and services. And Charmaine was one of those merchants who believed in the project. I mean, she believed to the point that, as you know, I do juices, right? And one of the flaws with my wife is that when you send her a message on WhatsApp or even Telegram, if you want to send her something for her birthday, send it to her about 2 months in advance. You understand? If you wanted to open it on time. None of us, she real tardy with that, boy. You see, where's business? Yeah, she will deal with that. But you see, individual and private accounts, private messages, she real tardy with that. And I keep telling her, no, you have to give that the time and she was sharing with me in February, I think it was the 15th of February, where Charmaine had sent her. And I felt bad about it. Tell Cliff a lovely tamarind juice, I'm missing it. Okay. And so she is sharing that with me when we heard of her death.
Wow.
You understand? As you are just saying, she died very recently. So I got the message. She sent that message, 6 weeks ago? 6 weeks before I opened up, near to 8 weeks, something like that. No, but she believed it. She used to buy and sell. Using the point, she believed in this project. She saw it to the end.
Yes.
Wherever you are, Charmaine, thanks for being the visionary that you are.
Oh yes, oh yes.
Yeah.
Most definitely. We could never underestimate the contribution, that made by our members. And last week we said that the chain is as strong as the weakest link. And we know that Charmaine, with her professionalism, the way how she carried about herself, the way how she did business on the platform, it sent a powerful signal throughout the community because, she was a very dependable person. She brought that professionalism to the platform and, of course, service delivery. I mean, there was nothing substandard about whatever she put out there. She was high quality. Yeah, she was a high quality person. And of course, when you went to whatever event that there was and she was there, you're expected to, interact with high standards, high standard items, quality items, and quality service as well. Because,
Yeah,
she was very well spoken, very gentle. I've never seen her raise her voice, and I mean, it's a great loss to her family and to our community, but we hope to really emulate, that example that she left with us, and so that she can live on.
she had a calming personality also, and she was very helpful. It didn't matter if she had to go out of her comfort zone to lend assistance. And another thing that you may not have been aware, because I think last week I have told you all, Donna and I had been part of the One World Foundation, part of our business, that is the charitable extension. I have never seen any project that we were into and Charmaine didn't contribute, both with her finance and with her physical
Presence.
capability. Yeah, no, I remember we had a get together in Center of Excellence. I don't know if you remember. Yeah, you would remember that because you came down from Princess Tongue night, right here,
Right.
go home in Aruka to be able
Yes.
from Princess Tongue to Aruka, remember? So and we were cutting up, we were cleaning up chicken and that kind of thing, and we
Yes,
had
I
Mr.
remember
Eric there
barbecue.
too. Yeah, we were doing a barbecue for our community, and just to bring people together. And Charmaine came by. I don't know if you were here as yet when she came by. She came by and she dropped 2 bags of potato. And then she said, you know something? Give me back the potato. She go on it and she go on and she clean it. Oh, she
Wow.
buy the potato and she clean it up, cut it up. You understand? So then she brings it on as later on. You understand? So that we could just then put it into do whatever work we had to do because we also had a curry queue
Yes.
too. So everything she was involved in, and like I was saying last week, we had asked a question, are dormant members still part of our community? And I think the answer was yes. Well, Charmaine was certainly not a dormant person. Charmaine was a vibrant member of the community and one who exercised a belief. And it is a sad loss, but it also endorses what our platform is about, because whilst we encourage persons to come on and bring on your skills as a business person, and even if you don't have business skills, you would learn it with the
Of course.
platform, right? The platform just doesn't let any and everyone come on board and do business. Because first of all, you must meet certain criteria of it must be legal, it must be ethical, of course, and it must be one that could add value to the community. You understand? So whilst we say one man's rubbish is another man's treasure, all right, don't feel you could just come and say, listen, I could just pass up any stupidness there and think, no, no, no. At
Of
the end
course
of the
not.
day, yeah, at the end of the day, we have a platform here that you can avail yourself with it, but it must be able to add value, because if it doesn't add value, the items that you bring there, you're gonna stand up with it and there's nothing, nobody wouldn't want it.
Quite correct. Quite
Charmaine,
correct.
yeah, Charmaine understood that, and Charmaine was very, very she would offer different kinds of items. Different, it wasn't just one thing, but she would offer different kinds of items just because she felt it added value to the
Value.
community.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
And
Because no
I,
matter what, no matter
yeah,
what, people have hesitancy about doing business. But listen, as long as you can come up with a product, there is somebody out there who needs the product. And fear cripples a lot of people from getting into business because they think about the worst things that can happen before they think about the best, And of course, this underscores the importance of the power of one, something we have been talking about from the very beginning. So don't underestimate the power of you, the viewer that's looking at our program this evening. You may have a good, or you might provide a service, and you're wondering how many persons you'll get to patronize your business. Listen, you never know until you step out. That is 99% of the battle there. Stepping out, not only in faith, but in confidence, knowing that, listen, what you have is going to bring value in the marketplace. And it's very, very worth it to get involved. Sorry.
Well, Dwayne, you know, as a number of us as aspiring business people, I say aspiring because a number of us want to be able to do business, get into our own business, whether at a small level. Most of us have dreams of a big level. In addition to fear, you know what I've found a number of persons don't get off the ground as a result of? A term referred to as paralysis analysis. In that you're trying to make sure everything is just right. Everything must be just right before you pull the trigger. So if you look at a number of successful businesses that have been started when the experts say that is not the right time.
Right.
You understand? Look at Microsoft, for instance. Huge company by Bill Gates. Look at when they were launched, when the economy was at a depressed time in the States. You understand? The experts would tell you, no, this is not the correct economic climate. And so people always have an opinion, all right? And many of us like to listen to the experts. And why is it as important to be able to take note? Remember, at the end of the day, you have to work from this. You are the person responsible for your failure or your success. Pull that trigger, man. Yes. Just like a number of persons listening to us, they want to get on board. They're still wondering just how sustainable this project will be, just how feasible it will be. Stop overthinking. Pull that trigger.
Pull that trigger. Well, we're going to our break, Cliff, and we'll be right back.
Oh, so we're going to pull the trigger for the break. All right.
Get started now. Get started with your One Academy package. Get started with your starter package. It's only $1,600 TT. Get your financial education from the One Academy. Although it's a beginner package, the information you're going to get from your One Academy starter package, you would have more knowledge than 90% of the world's population on finance for just $1,600 TT. Let's create a revolution. Let's spread the epidemic of our One Academy, One Life. Get it today.
Welcome to the Antediluvian Nature Center of Life Extension and Health Recovery. Coming from the Garden of Eden, the Antediluvian Nature Center brings to you breakthrough medicines and anti-aging technologies for all ailments and diseases in the body, nutritional therapies, naturopathic treatments, as we create opportunities of hope and celebrate longevity. And remember, the healing is from God.
Do you know? What am I speaking about? Do you know what is cryptocurrency? Do you know what is blockchain technology? Are you aware of what we currently face on a regular basis with quantitative easing, fractional reserve lending? Do you know? I am inviting you to come out of the financial darkness and into financial light. The only way for us to achieve that is with education. And one particular type of education is what I'm speaking about. I'm asking you to join the One Academy. It is a financial revolution of teaching regarding introduction to finance, cryptocurrency, blockchain technology, helping you understand the world of money and what is money. What is money? Money is simple. It is what we agree upon to exchange for goods and services. If you want full comprehension, join the One Academy.
When I'm training for professional competitions, men and women always ask me for advice. To women, I say push yourself harder than you ever have before and go beyond your comfort zone. Focus on your goals. Men, if I am willing to push myself to become Mr. Olympia in 2022, then I only have one thing to say to you. Bring your
full 100.
Here we go again.
So we're back, Cliff, and we were saying, that, listen, each of the persons that we mentioned that passed away from our community, their contributions were invaluable to the community. Meaning, as the commercial saying goes, they're priceless. Because we know we can't put a price tag on life. And it's so important that we acknowledge that we can't put a price tag on life. And of course, their belief and their response to the project, from that point on, really solidified the need for legacy. And of course, Charmaine and others had the vision of this project being completed and us enjoying the benefits of it. And of course, now she is no longer physically here to share in that. However, the legacy that she would have left for her children and her relatives will long outlive her timeline. And so she would have impacted the future. I like how King James puts it, that, listen, looking forward in the future, he's going to be remembered for the action that he's taken now in the present time. And it's so powerful for our viewers and our listeners to understand legacy, Cliffboy. Legacy. Leaving something for the generation that's coming beside that,
Yeah. I remember my deceased father used to say that he was one strong on principles, strong, right? In fact, because of his position that he held when he used to work in customs and excise, he used to boast him that nobody could point a finger to him that he took a bribe. Yes, and that was his, he used to believe that was his hallmark. And I remember when he was getting down in age, I asked him, I said, why you was so strong on that? I mean, if you take a bribe, maybe your financial position would have been better. You understand? And he told me, he said, listen, when somebody dies, now the listeners out there may agree or disagree with this, you have your choice. He said, when somebody dies, there's only one thing you could leave behind. Now, you just said legacy. My father saw it as his legacy was his integrity.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So his legacy was that nobody should be able to point fingers at him to pass on to me and to my brother and to my children and so on, saying that Harold Samlal Singh deceased was a scam or whatever. He was going at that. And why I'm raising that issue is because persons who have contributed, like Charmaine as merchants to this ecosystem that we have really left a legacy as memories to me, right? I want people to understand that. So, understand something. When I could go to the breakfast shed. I think it's breakfast shed is still called it on the Port Authority.
Yes.
Where you could go, you pay $50 or $60 for a lunch, you get a nice lunch, your stomach full.
Yeah.
But if you were to go into Hilton to have that same lunch, are you going to pay the same $60? Definitely not.
No, different
right.
place. Yeah.
Forget Hilton. Forget Hilton. Right across the little tarmac is the Hyatt. So you don't have far to walk from the breakfast shed. And you go for the same lunch as breakfast shed gave to you.
Right.
Are you going to pay the same $60? No,
sir.
much more. But then you might say, you might try to be pragmatic and say, but wait, I could just go right there, same radius, within the same radius, and give me the same lunch for $60. The reason why you go to a fine dine for a fine dining experience, you
Experience.
understand the term I use?
Mhm.
It's a fine dining experience. Why? Because you are hoping that long after you leave the place, you would remember that occasion that you had a meal there and what it meant to you. So you're really paying the extra money for the benefit of having an experience that
Experience.
will linger in your memory. People must
Yes.
understand that when you go to any place that you pay a premium price for, you pay the premium price to have an experience, the benefit of enjoying a special memory of that somewhere down the road. And this is what the merchants whom I have interacted with, I could just talk about my personal experience now,
Mhm.
since I've been on board with this, which my coins have been able to give me have left me an experience. So Dwayne,
Mm.
simple thing as when I had purchased my pants, my pants from you, it would have been last year. Simple thing
Yes.
like that, pants. And I said, wait, look how this pants fit in. I think it's about three of them I buy from you.
Yes.
The first, I will never forget, the first wearing of that pants was to one of our IMA's wedding.
Correct.
And the pants fitting real nice. I mean, to me, that was an experience because I bought this pants with coins that I have,
Right.
and I am in another community member's wedding. He's
Right.
marrying another community member. You
Yes.
understand? And so it was a special experience that stayed with me. Oh, I have other parts. You feel I could you feel there's any memory that I could link other parts. So this is what I'm trying to tell you. I
Yes.
remember, I remember a guy, one of our community members named Andrew Cates. He has a school. Guys, listeners out there, if you want to learn how to fly light aeroplanes, contact Andrew Cates. If you want to, if you don't know how to get on him, reach us all. Serially, get his number if you want to learn how to fly. Well, as a little boy, which little boy never look up at the planes and say, boy, I wonder if I could ever fly one of them things. Well, I had the benefit of doing that with coins. Andrew gave me that experience and I was able to take the throttle and fly the plane for myself for about I think half an hour, three-quarter of an hour, something like that. Of course, under supervision. That
Mhm.
was a memory I had that I never had before. I never thought about it. I thought I was beyond my dream level. I thought that dream had long gone.
Right.
But this merchant brought it back to me and allowed me to use my coins to have that experience up to this day. You understand? I own land in Sangre Grande, which I purchased with coins. Before I got into this business, I didn't think I would own another piece of land other than what I'm still paying for right now. But because of the benefit of coins, I was able to get that. Listeners, I hope you're getting the picture. It's an experience that, for want of a better term, money can't buy. That's,
Correct.
it. That's what I could say. Right? Going to Vietnam. I went to Vietnam there, and when in Vietnam, I see alligator skin belts, alligator skin handbag. I mean, made from, I ain't talking about fused with alligator skin, I'm talking about the entire product made with that. When I saw the price of those three bags, well, of course, those bags is not for me, they're for my wife. You're going to understand that, right? And the colors they come in, my wife like fashions. When I brought back those bags to her, boy, whatever wrong I had done in the past was forgiven. I want people to understand that.
Your
You
record was
understand?
expunged.
Yes, the debts was clean. The board was wiped clean. You understand? The forgiveness board was rolled out, the forgiveness carpet was rolled out because she never thought that she would have owned alligator skin handbags, right? The experience, girl, the joy of seeing it on her face and then, and knowing that coins paid for that. In Vietnam, not only in Trinidad, I took a Trinidadian, took his coins which he got in Trinidad, went to Vietnam, didn't have to go to the bank to apply for US dollars and all kind of thing, and used coins to purchase them.
Didn't lose any value in the process, in the exchange process. There was no exchange process, as a matter of fact.
Oh, but as you talk about that, the time when I did that would have been about 3 years ago, right? Guess what? The merchant who got those coins from me, the value of the coins that he has gotten from me has climbed since that time. So he now has more value from those coins.
More buying power.
Whilst my wife is enjoying the use of a handbag, the merchant is still smiling, as opposed to if he had gotten it in cash. You know what? The inflationary toll on cash,
yes,
the buying power is less. But in his instance, the buying power is more because the value of the cryptocurrency that we have, which he got 3 years ago, has climbed since that time. I mean,
that's one of the things I really love about our community and our system. The fact that it doesn't operate like the mainstay crypto system where these people just buy in and trade in coins, but they're not really getting that practical usability out of it. So their process might be, it's money making, but it's a little more mundane for them. But for us, as you said, we are creating memories, we are creating experiences that will outlive, these things. But we have to go to a break, so we'll be right back. Stick and stay with us, and we have more to come.
Get started now. Get started with your One Academy package. Get started with your starter package. It's only $1,600 TT. Get your financial education from the One Academy. Although it's a beginner package, the information you're going to get from your One Academy starter package, you would have more knowledge than 90% of the world's population on finance for just $1,600 TT. Let's create a revolution. Let's spread the epidemic of our One Academy, One Life. Get it today.
Welcome to the Antediluvian Nature Center of Life Extension and Health Recovery. Coming from the Garden of Eden, the Antediluvian Nature Center brings to you breakthrough medicines and anti-aging technologies for all ailments and diseases in the body, nutritional therapies, naturopathic treatments, as we create opportunities of hope and celebrate longevity. And remember, the healing is from God.
Do you know what am I speaking about? Do you know what is cryptocurrency? Do you know what is blockchain technology? Are you aware of what we currently face on a regular basis with quantitative easing, fractional reserve lending? Do you know? I am inviting you to come out of the financial darkness and into financial light. The only way for us to achieve that is with education. And one particular type of education is what I'm speaking about. I'm asking you to join the One Academy. It is a financial revolution of teaching regarding introduction to finance, cryptocurrency, blockchain technology, helping you understand the world of money and what is money. What is money? Money is simple. It is what we agree upon to exchange for goods and services. If you want full comprehension, join the One Academy.
When I'm training for professional competitions, men and women always ask me for advice. To women, I say push yourself harder than you ever have before and go beyond your comfort zone. Focus on your goals. Men, if I am willing to push myself to become Mr. Olympia in 2022, then I only have one thing to say to you. Bring your
full 100.
Here we go again.
Yes, good evening, folks, and to our ardent listeners who might be looking, for the Rasta man. He is unavoidably not here this evening. So please, we do ask you to still subscribe to our program. Don't leave. The Rasta man will be back come next week, right? Brother Noel, we know you have a huge fan base out there, and we just want to acknowledge that.
Yes,
And of
yes,
course,
yes.
yeah, Cliff, you ended on a topic there that really hit a note with me. Even when you were sharing about your dad and the legacy that he would have left was integrity. I too share that same sentiment because integrity is who you are. That's the core of who you are, But my focus really is on leaving something material for my next generation. I always say that, for my children, my boys, that when I pass away, I want them to be left with more than the memory that, your daddy was a good man. He was a good boy. No, I want to be able to leave a foundation for those guys to platform off of, to create something for their generation to come. And that's what it should be. I was referring to the pharaohs and how they would do their construction. Each pharaoh would do construction up to a certain point, and they would leave an unfinished portion for the next coming pharaoh to complete. And that in itself speaks to legacy building. Vision, having a vision. So that person didn't just come in and skate. Like some people inherit money and they squander it because they weren't trained properly. They weren't trained in how to deal with it. They weren't trained in how to manage it. So when they come, it's like they win a lotto and they just start to play a mass, and then eventually the generation come and fall probably 5 times backwards instead of 5 times forward because of mismanagement. So it's so important, but I know you had an analogy to draw on that.
Oh, with the legacy? Yeah. I remember there was a time we used to say, if you want to eat a food now, you plant vegetables. If you want to be able to have some money somewhere in the short-term future and a little bit later on, you plant fruit trees. But if you want long-term legacy that you may enjoy, but your children definitely will enjoy, you plant like teak and cedar trees. You understand? Because of the length of time cedar and teak take to grow. So, for instance, we have a community based in Tabakit side. So when you're going down on that side, and you're passing through that area, you're going to come across cedar fields, teak fields. You understand? Teak fields. So understand that the project that we offer, our One Ecosystem project, is not a vegetable project. It's not something that you're coming on board now so that in 2 months' time you will reap the benefits. That is vegetables, a 6-week project, and you cut it and then you have to replant to be able to get, right? Our project is more a mixture of fruit trees and teak and cedar. I want persons to understand that. That is why you see we keep saying we look for educated miners. Correct. Because just like Dwayne is saying, just like I am saying, if you understand the meaning and the importance of the word legacy, and you feel that, listen, it is right and just due to you that you be remembered after you have brought your children in Because let me be honest, let me be open and honest. Many children now, because they're healthy as parents, because you can relate to them physically well and so on, you see your children. A number of people complain when you get sick and you're bedridden. The same children who they raised and gave them all the things, you barely see them. When you look at the movies, the American culture is that what do the children want to do with the parents then? Pack them up and put them in a home.
Sell the house.
You understand? So it's like as if the parents never really left a legacy with those children. That's how I see it. Because if you just want to put them aside and see what you could get for yourself, because you had a hustle, and forget about what your parents did for your thing, is because there was no roots, no foundation that was established there that keeps a link. You understand? And I am saying that our project is much, it sends its roots out, because when you get involved, we expect you to be able to tell your children and those dependents that you have what you are about, what you're into. We have a number of members, IMAs, who get involved, and you know what happened when a couple of them have died, as we have mentioned. The children reach out to us and say, listen, mommy or daddy is into this, but I don't understand what this is about. And I feel down because the importance of it was supposed to be passed on to them. You know why? You know why? Because when they grasp the meaning from us, what the parents have left for them, because they don't understand the full importance of it, what do you think they would want to do? Look to find a way where they can cash out. And the legacy will not have been established. The legacy will be missed.
Just this week, Cliff, I saw the video of the actual guy that sold his Bitcoins for 2 pizzas, right? I actually saw the face of the gentleman and heard the account from himself.
Dwayne, you had to go over that story for persons who are not familiar with it.
Anyhow, I can't remember. It was like 10,000 Bitcoins this guy sold, right? Back in the day.
Yeah.
A little bit over a decade ago. Right? And he sold those 10,000 Bitcoins for 2 pizzas. He bought 2 pizzas with it, right? And it became the most expensive pizzas in history because the asset that he used to buy the pizzas, he underestimated the nature of the asset. And he thought it was worthless. So he took this 10,000 Bitcoins and paid for 2 pizzas. 82 pizzas. He even showed the snapshot. He said, listen, my daughter was about 3 years old. This is her arm in the shot when I was collecting the pizza, or when we got the pizza, right? And those same pizzas, because of the value appreciation in the Bitcoin, was something around 80 million US dollars, right? So imagine his conundrum of actually having something of value, not understanding what he had and exchange it, for 2 pizzas. I mean, that would hurt. And I'm sure it hurt him, not understanding the value.
I don't know. If I go on his words, I remember they doing an interview with him. I was listening to it. Was it last year or year before? Because as you said, rightfully said, every year there's an anniversary to celebrate that occasion. Yeah. Because it is a point to remember. And they asked him, how does he feel knowing how his life could have changed if he had held on to those Bitcoins? You understand? I mean, at the time, it was like $18 million US at the time. Now it would have been even more, because I'm talking about 2-3 years ago when the interview was done. And I had to learn something from him, because he said, listen, what is to be is to be. I didn't understand it at the time, and I can't cry over spilled milk. No, that was his philosophy. And I mean, I guess he had to hold on to that for him to keep his sanity, because somebody like me, I would have been cussing, I would have been vexed with the world, I would have been angry with the creator, I would have been angry with the universe, and say, you understand? I would have probably go back to that person if they still, if the pizza people still there and threaten them. I want back at least a portion of them Bitcoin something.
Well, here this Cliff. Here this Cliff. Remember, we are in an era now where we become the bank, right? Decentralized finance. So it's not actually the institution that profited from that. It's a private person, and
Right.
this is to underscore how the deal shaker works. In the deal shaker, what exists here physically exists on a virtual platform. So here's how that transaction really took place. Somebody spent about 40 US to buy those pizzas. They had a digital wallet, right? So they received those 10,000 Bitcoins from him, wallet to wallet, no bank involved. And they took their fiat and paid $40 and delivered the pizza to him. So it's the same concept we have in terms of our platform where, listen, you could take anything, take your fiat currency, buy anything and resell it on the platform and receive crypto. Now, we know why we take in the crypto because just like the example of Bitcoin where they started off at 10 cents and then the value continued to appreciate, it's the same concept that we have. But we are not fixated on the volatility or the up and down movement of the crypto because we understand that our crypto is built around productivity. And as long as productivity is consistent, we know that revenue will be consistent. And of course, then supply and demand, business people seeing all these people in this community and want a piece of the pie, just like we referred to last week when the metaverse was first initiated, it was free. And then when there was a certain sum of persons there noteworthy that the business sector will pay attention, and then the business sector now want to get access to those people, they have to pay the people who own the metaverse. But in our case, the centralized thing is the coin. And that's common to all of us. So even when business people begin to infiltrate our community, we're going to benefit because you know what's going to happen? Our crypto is going to appreciate further in value. And what we need to do is make sure and talk to our children, the persons who are going to inherit from us, to make them know the value of what we have to hand over to them and how they should treat with it. So don't do like the guy and sell something that will be worth so much more in the future for 2 pizzas that you're going to eat, gratify yourself, and you're going to pass it out tomorrow. So come on.
You know, Dwayne, there was a time when I used to be seriously involved in the Bible. I used to look at other books too, but the Bible was one I'd spent a lot of time on, and there was a story in the Bible, I think Jacob and Esau, you understand? And where one gave up his birthright simply for a bowl of food, right? Esau was that guy. You understand? He gave up his birthright simply to be able to fill his belly. You understand? So every time I hear that story with the guy with the pizzas and thing, it reminds me of that story in the Bible because it's very similar, but it's a warning to all of us. Careful what you have in your hand if you don't take time to understand it and pass on that understanding to those who you hold dearest to you. It could be very well cast into the swines, or it could be very well thrown away your treasure right there. All because it takes time to understand it. All right?
Making a little emphasis on how things, progress to this part of the conversation, Cliff, no one is exempt from hardship, sickness, death, misfortune. However, we all have the freedom to choose, right? And how we live and how we exist, and it's a matter of choice. Persons in our community would have made that decision to come in. I know of one particular gentleman, who passed, and we were personal friends. And he would have shown me what was his quota in terms of our community. And I mean, this guy was loaded, right? And I shudder to think now that his offspring, his lone offspring that he left behind, doesn't understand the value of what she has or what she has inherited. And I remember, Cordell always has this conversation when he says, listen, do you know your grandfather's grandfather? And for most of us, the question will be no, because unless you have money and you've been immortalized in terms of the business when they put your picture up on the wall, as a sign of recognition that, listen, because you are the one that brought them to this place. I remember visiting a prominent funeral home in San Fernando, and on the wall, from generation to generation, you see the matriarchs and the patriarchs who brought the business to where it is today. And so they were immortalized on a wall. But most of us who have not inherited, material wealth, don't have that connection to our ancestors, because, we don't have anything that was left, no legacy was left, so there's no memory to tie it to. And so that is why it's important also for persons to be able to live on that connection, that experience. Is the same thing Cliff was talking about. It's about the experience of having provided for your family, even after you've gone on to the next realm of existence. And so that's why it's important to choose, our viewers. We come week after week, the ads are played. You hear our leader, King James himself, saying, listen, get an educational package, and we take it for granted. And you know what, Cliff? I know this is a good place for you to plug in what we were talking about at the beginning of the program, because we know there are a particular group in society that is getting into some fintech. So I'll let you share that with our viewers, because we close off.
Right. Well, true. Because I heard you talking earlier about because of how our ecosystem is structured, even when big businesses get on board, the benefits will still come to us. You understand? Because of how our ecosystem is structured, so that the big businesses going to benefit. We who are not considered as big businesses as they are would also benefit. Why? Because we are using the same coins. Right. Now, listeners out there, a number of you still feel that you're wondering just how sustainable cryptocurrency is. Now, whilst you are wondering about it, the who's who in society, in our financial society in Trinidad and Tobago, have already gone ahead and started to plan. Some of you may have seen a show on, I think it was on TV6, or I think it was, I don't think it was TV6. It was one of the TV stations. Anyhow,
CNC3, I believe, yeah.
CNC3, okay. But I think it was also featured on TV6, if I'm not mistaken. I might be wrong there, but definitely on CNC3. Whereby Ansa Makal, you all heard me, Ansa Makal, one of the most powerful conglomerates in the country, is laying out plans where they are setting up a Bitcoin mining farm, right? And the project is to cost about $500 million US. It should take about, let's say 11 months, let's say about a year. All right. I'm not going to talk about the implications to that. All I want to say is that why would big business like that decide, okay, they're going to invest all that money? It's not only Ansa Makal, they're doing it in partnership, I think, with 2 other companies, so that businesses see cryptocurrency as the future, so much so they're setting it up right here in Trinidad and Tobago. I don't even want to go back and mention the same thing I was sharing with Tobago when I was there, and I told them that Shore Park is ideal for setting up with our project about 4 years ago, but I'm not going back down that road. And when these businesses come together and set up this project, and a year from now, they are getting the coins mined and they have it available for persons who want. Where is the opportunity for you who decide to take it from them? Tell me, listeners, you who are going to buy it are only going to be getting the value based on an exchange that an exchange provides, based on speculation, the speculative price of it. You are not going to get any added benefit. You are not going to have an experience that Dwayne and I went at length to discuss tonight that you enjoy by using your coins. We are inviting persons out there to come into our ecosystem whereby you can enjoy the opportunity. Why? Because you have gone ahead of the game. You have entered the arena before many of the major players were to come on board. Look how long it has taken Trinidad and Tobago businesses to recognize that cryptocurrency can be mined down here. This is something that this was discussed. Let me tell you something. To be quite honest, that same Bitcoin project was discussed about 7 years ago in Trinidad and Tobago, and the then government said, listen, we don't see no future in that. So they took up their plans and they went to Barbados with it. All right? So all I'm trying to say is that this is not something that we are now talking about. We had seen that since way back then. The powers that be who were supposed to make the decisions did not see it. I am not even sure if the government fully sees it, otherwise they would have set it up themselves and not wait for Anton McCall and others in a joint venture to be able to do so. So again, they are only being guided by the advice from Anton McCall and them, and it is good advice. But all I'm saying is that it would have been better advice had they heeded it when we were talking about it since way back, right? Since it was no. We are also talking about our one ecosystem project. And we are saying, don't put all your eggs in one basket, diversify. You want to get involved in that project when it comes out 11 months' time? No problem. That's a good project to get involved in. If the value is right. I don't know what it's going to be like at that time. What I could tell you is that the value that we offer in our project now is great. When you come on board, it's just a matter of seeing which are the packages that we have on offer that you feel you're willing to subscribe to. We have different value packages. We have packages ranging from $1,400 TT all the way up to a couple of 100,000 TT. Yes, you heard me right. You hear the wide range. You understand? So there is something there for almost everybody who wants to, at least, whether you want to get your foot wet, whether you want to get your toe wet, or whether you want to jump in up to waist deep, right? It's on board and understand what they're about, because the whole key to this thing is legacy, 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 legacy. We have taken a lot of time tonight to elaborate on that, because at the end of the day, you don't want to know that when you leave here, it was like a vacuum, all right? The only reminder that you had passed here is if the people who bury you put up a tombstone here and your tombstone is still there. That must be the only reminder that you passed through here. Your dependents must be talking about here. You must be saying, listen, my father, my grandfather, my uncle, whoever it is, that my aunt, my mother, they had foresight, boy. They got involved in this one ecosystem project. And look what it has turned over for us. Look how it has changed our life. Look how it revealed how cash was trading me and making us a prisoner. Look how it showed the banks that they needed to change their style of doing business. That is what cryptocurrency will do. It will force the banks, it already has started, to change the style of doing business because they're too oppressive and draconian in the measures. And if you understand that there, and you understand this, what cryptocurrency offers a solution to be able to circumnavigate those kinds of troubles with the banking system. Yes, we need them. We need them because they are unnecessarily evil, right? But we need them. But we need them more if they can understand they need to change their ways of doing business. Businesses cannot be falling and going through, and the banks are still boasting that our profit margins are swelling every year on year. That can't make sense. That it doesn't leave a nice taste when businesses who you once had have gone through because of different conditions, or because you did not ease up on your loan payments and so on, or whatever measures that you may have added onto bringing in their demise, that you can still move some of your profits in. And then you have the normal, you have the from the pensioners, the individuals coming with the little earnings, and every month they have to pay, whether they use their account or not. This is an sad, sickening aspect. Whether you use your account or not, you have to pay a fee. The bank to use your money. So, but that's a different story. I ain't going down that road. I want to just allow Dwayne to close this evening session. I want to thank you, listeners, for listening to us. And our team has been on legacy and some of those merchants. And again, Charmaine, Nicholas, and her family, hats off to you. I salute you, Charmaine, and your family. I hope your children understand because I met them. I know the two of them, your daughter and your son. Guys, be proud of Mama. Wayne, take it away.
Yes, Cliff. You know, I have a friend called Lennox Lucky B. And one of the nuggets he shared with me in past times is establish yourself. Trinidad and Tobago, the wider world, establish yourself. Make the right choice, join our ecosystem, and be able to leave a legacy for your children. And make sure that you get them to understand what you're leaving for them as well, right? Because knowledge is power, but only when it is applied. So, from us here at Beyond 2021, one's out. Have a great evening, folks. Stay blessed.
One ecosystem, you know them. We not frightened of nobody, but we respect everybody, and we better than everybody. So we will run with anybody. No fear, no better than we. No kind, no better than we. Step on me one and say, one ecosystem to the world you say. One ecosystem will do something, do something, do something, do something, uno do something, do something. I'm not talking. One ecosystem will do something, do something, do something, do something, uno do something, do something. I'm not bag of lip chasing. Aye.